What's up, people? So what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go back in. I'm gonna finish drinking my coffee. This here probably it's showing up a little bit better, but it has been for the last day. It's been showing up blurry. It's the quality of it is improving because I don't like when that moss get in and and it shows up blurry. You know what I'm saying? It ain't show. It's supposed to show up a little bit better, but hold on. Let me see something here. Okay, let's see that. Still kind of showing up kind of. I mean, it's still kind of blurry, showing it kind of dull looking because of the fall and stuff. But once it dry out, then it should show up a little bit better. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go ahead and probably eventually turn it off because I'm still watching a video and I don't want to. I'm trying to be careful with that, extra careful with copyright and stuff like that. You know? Now, what I'm gonna do, I might take a change. Oh, oops. Okay, do this here. Pull this camera out. Pull this one out. Then put this one here in. And see what. Just hang on just a second. Can't see me because what I did, I pulled the camera out and I said I'm gonna take and put another one in there. That's what I do. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna turn it on with this camera. I tell you what, let's do it. Let's see if we can do it like this. Logitech. Allow. Okay, it should come up within a minute. Now, yeah. Yeah, see that's better quality to me. If it'll stay like that, you know. It's not good. Hold on. Let's see here. What's going to happen here? See that? This one here shows up better. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to keep that like that. See how clear that show up? Very good quality. You can see my face really good. Yeah. You can really see my face really good. Yeah. Yeah, it's got good quality. Mm-hmm. Now, while I'm playing that video, I'm going to take and go onto the account, and I'm going to share that video while it's live. Hold on. Let me go back to YouTube. I streamed the live video 2 days ago on here. I forgot. I'm gonna share one on Facebook too. Okay. Now I'm gonna switch back over. Go back on the old account. I'm gonna look. There's a video that it says destroyed sister mocking the prophets, witnessing the terror of something. I'm gonna have to look at the whole thing because it's kind of hard to look at it. See the smaller. See, that's what I like. See the smaller camera. This camera here, it shows up good quality, but the one I have in here now, it shows up better quality. The one up there, but it's because it's green, and the camera that shows up the green light has better quality. But this one here shows up like orange quality, like an orange light. But the green light, it shows up better. You see what I'm saying? And like this one here, this one here, it's got good quality. It's got real good quality, but that one, the one I'm using now, has better quality than this one. when you have this camera on there, it's like this camera here is blurry. No, it shows up clear. It's a clear picture, a smooth picture, but they have a smooth blurriness. It's like a clear. It shows a clear and smoothness. But if you just use the regular camera in the computer, it's going to be dull looking. You can see yourself, but you won't be able to see. You can see yourself good. You have to get in a lot of light to be able to see, to have good quality from the natural camera inside the computer. You see what I'm saying? But I like stuff that shows up real good quality. And I'm more than sure a lot of our YouTubers, you know what I'm saying, they have, they able to see black folks. We not really able to take and go and buy the right type of equipment. We have to just basically use what we got because we're poor, because we've been like this all our life. Living in poverty and stuff, it's kind of hard. We pretty much have to wait months and months, or at the end of the month. And sometimes when we wait at the end of the month, we still don't even have actually money to actually buy the expensive thing. I'm gonna say expensive thing, because more than likely the black people, we as living in poverty, most of us, those things are hard to afford. Unless you as a black person and you just kind of well off, you can afford all different types of stuff. But the reason it's like that is because the nations of the Europeans, they have more of the resources. You see what I'm saying? And we don't hardly have no resources to get there to do nothing with we can't get our cars fixed in our yard. Our cars got to sit up for years and months and years and years with and not even have a car on the road and stuff. And they just a nation of people. They don't care. You know what I mean? It's all about them. You see what I'm saying? I'm just speaking the truth. And I'm just talking about what's true, because I only speak things that's true. I'm not going to come up here and speak lies out my mouth. You know what I mean? Now, some people may find a problem with me. More than likely, I think family members, they're going to have a problem with me saying this. And some of them, especially the ones that you live in your own, that you stay in the same household with. When you say something about the history of the Caucasian people, when it comes to stuff like that, a lot of people, they blot you out. A lot of people will get into heated arguments with you over stuff like that. You know what I mean? They will like, man, you don't know what the fuck. These are the people that has a destroyed mindset. You see what I'm saying? And they are so used to being told what to do. It's just like going to prison. You know how people go to prison? They get out and they can't really it takes them a while to get back to functioning normal in society, because when they've been confined for so long, some of them turn around and take and go back. That's our people. And you so used to being told what to do, you always going to ask permission. Could you go and could you take a break, or could you go to the bathroom or something like that? You know what I'm saying? You so used to that, and the people looking at you like, you don't have to ask me every time, because they so used to, when you are so used to being confined, you got to get that you got to get that bondage spirit off of you, and that's what happened with a lot of people. The reason why they like going to jail, or they go to jail, because they have been destroyed mentally through the system. Because the system, when I say the system, I'm talking about the people that runs the earth. The nation of people that runs the world. Y'all know who I'm talking about. The Caucasian. They runs the earth. You see what I'm saying? So by them running, and they is in control, they are in control of everything. More than likely, they got all the resources, and they can give you what they want, and you got to just take it and be boom. You got to be, hey, we gonna give you this hint. You're gonna either be satisfied with it, you're gonna have to kick rocks. That's how they feel about us. Excuse me. That's how they feel about us. No matter what you do, you got to go by their rules. Like for example, if they owe you any kind of money, tax or whatever, return or whatever, you got to go. You got to. It's like it's slavery. You got to rely upon them for everything. You got to go to them for your water, your bread, your physical, your clothing, the clothes that you have on, and everything. We gotta go if we want a nice outfit. We gotta go to them and stuff of that nature. You know what I mean? I didn't think I was gonna get this far in the video. Let me go put this camera up in my room right quick. But anyway, I'm gonna give y'all the last look shot and show it to you. Now I like this camera. It does a better job than the one I got in it now, but I have to keep it still because if I move it any kind of way, it's gonna knock the clearness out and it's gonna make the camera go dull. You know? So that's why I'm leaving it right there. So from now on when I'm doing a video, I'm just gonna have to just set it up on something soft. If I'm outside with it or whatever, I'm just gonna have to already have it setting down and have it to where the card on the camera can't move. I think they said YouTube and Google, they don't like for people to use other equipments to their stuff. But I wish they would like make the cameras more like real quality. Like when you buy a computer, the camera should be clear quality. You see what I'm saying? So that's what it should be. But they own more of the resources, and we can't really just afford to buy the things that we want the way that we want to. We got to wait months and months and months and months and months and months and sometimes years. You see what I'm saying? We own a waiting list, but they're not, because they control everything. Excuse me, once more. Yeah, we got to be sitting back and we got to be waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and wait. And then we sit up there, oh man, oh my God. The only person that's really going to have mercy up and break those shackles of evil, demonic forces is for us to be able to live the way we should be living. Because when we was born black, as the majority of so-called people of color, we was born in poverty. The blacks and the Hispanics and the Native Americans over here in America, most of us was born in poverty because we are controlled. We are under a government system, which is the Caucasian. Y'all know who I'm talking about. And so when you have a race of people that controls everything, and then if you need a birth certificate, you got to go to them. If you need a social security card, you got to go to the very people who controlling the earth. You see what I'm saying? We got to go to them. You see what I'm saying? And then you got to meet the qualifications. You got to, you can't even get a job. You can't leave the country unless you get a passport. All those different things. You got to get permission from your enemy to do all of that. You got to get permission from your enemies to do all of that. You can't just pick up and leave. We can't. We got to go to them and get our food. We don't have we can't go to our own people. Our siblings, cousins and things that own businesses and stuff and buy these type of things. I can't get on the phone and call and say, oh, my cousins, my uncle, my daddy's brother left us a business. So they work at Best Buy. So I'm going to be able to go here and ask my uncle to give, this and that and the third, my uncle to help me out with it, or my uncle to give it to me for a low price or whatever, even though it's brand new or whatever. No, because they don't own anything, to my knowledge. And then if they did own, some of them did own businesses and stuff, who they got to get their material from? There you have it, the so-called white people, bro. Yeah, you got to go to them to get it all. Yeah, yeah. So I made the thing, made it smaller. But anyway, yeah, man, we got to go to our enemies for everything. We got to go to them for our water, our food, clothing, everything. If you want a phone, you want an iPhone 12, you want a iPhone 11, you want the newest of the iPhone, you want a computer, you want anything, man, anything electronic, anything, Bible, sofas, furniture, bed, anything, water. You got to pay your enemy to keep your water on. I mean, you have to pay you got to pay the so-called, you got to pay the Caucasian people for all that stuff. If you don't meet those qualifications, then they ain't gonna let you do it. They ain't gonna. You can't. You know what I mean? You got to. It's like everything here is like it's slavery. Your Social Security card. If you got to, in order to get certain things, they won't even give you certain things unless you got a Social Security card. If you ain't got that Social Security card, even though our ancestors owned this country and this is their land and stuff, to them, you counted as an alien. They count you somebody that's foreign. You just not even on the so-called this American list or whatever. You was just considered somebody just roaming up. They might even say you're not even an illegal. You're not a United, so-called what they call United States citizen. All that kind of stuff. They that's the way it is, and then they control the news, and you don't get nothing but you're not gonna get the truth, all the truth. You're not gonna get all. It's just so you just have to. We just have to just pray to the Most High, man, and just like I said though earlier. Let me go back to my original point. We can't afford all these different things. We can't even afford 30 some dollars. It's hard, it's that hard. If you can afford $30 every day to buy something different, you good. But shoot, we barely even, I walk the streets and I can probably count the times that I done had $30 in my pocket. When you get a hold of $30, to me, that's a lot. But the stuff is so high, we still call it a lot because we're not used to having a whole lot, Because a white boy, they can walk around with $600 in their pocket, and that won't be no money to them at all. It'll be like $6. To us, $600 is a whole lot because see, we don't know what that is. We don't know what that is, just to have a whole lot of money. It would be like a nightmare to us because we don't know what that is, because we've been under the powers that be that we got to depend upon. We can't just go and get what we want. You got to there are certain qualifications you got to meet in order to be able to go and get a so-called bank loan. You can't just walk up in there and just say this and that and the third. You can't. But that's why they call it See, all the white people, the Caucasian people, they benefit off the system more than me and you, even the poorest of so-called white people. It still ain't as hard for them. No, it's still not as hard for them. It's hard, but it ain't hard like it would be a person of color. It's worse for us because we're people of color, you know. And y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm not complaining. I tell my people this all the time. They had a lady that told me that I'm not. I don't want to mention the name, but she said that I complain a lot. I said, no, I'm not complaining. I'm just talking about what the reality is. For me, if I'm sitting here saying that, well, you know what, the other nation has everything, and it's not that I'm not giving thanks to the Most High God. I do give thanks to the higher power, the God of Israel, every day. But just because I recognize and say, you know what, we are living in poverty, and the truth of the matter is, the Caucasian people, they have more of the resources in their community. For me to point that out and recognize it, that's not complaining. That's recognizing that it's the truth that they are the main head people that controls the resources, everything. They control resources, they control the water, they control, at any point in time, they can turn these lights off. They can do that if they want to. Now, especially if you don't know what I'm saying, if you don't pay the bill, they turn this off. They come out and turn this off. If you don't pay your water, they turn your water bill off. You know, it is what it is. You know, it's that simple. Yeah, it's really that simple, man. Um, they not gonna treat us fairly like they would treat themselves. That's just the bottom line. Now, even if you have a lot of people in a high position, as far as being well off and stuff of that nature, at the end of the day, you're still a black man. You're still a nigger to them. Yeah, they don't care about that. And if you mess up at any point in time, they'll chop you down. They can chop you off, chop you to the ground. When I say chop you to the ground, just like they did Bill Cosby. They stripped this man down, and that didn't stop them from putting that man in a prison system. Yep, it's harder on a black man than it is in anybody. You know, so it's something, man. So what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna stop this thing now.